My name is Jane Boyd, and this is my art. My art is kind of a lot of colors and scribbles and lines and intersections of everything in my world. It's not really something that I've always done. In fact, my art came from a dark moment in my life that one day I'll talk about. But right now, what's interesting to me is that I'm learning that the way my art connects to everything in my world is really an interesting process. And every single time that I sit down to create, I don't actually know what it is that I'm going to create or where it comes from or how it even happens. I certainly don't set out with a predetermined idea in my mind. I simply begin. And sometimes the words flow in with the art, which is interesting because I like to write, although art is much easier for me these days. I've discovered that there's something quite magical about the way color, and in particular the different kinds of tools that you can use to create art, the way it all works together. For me, it's not about perfection. It's not about everything coming together as I think it should come together because I don't actually know. I don't plan. And honestly, look at it. A lot of times it really is just a lot of scribbling or arranging or playing around. I guess you could say that a big part of what I do is I play with color. I'm learning to find out how everything works together, and by no means do I consider myself to be a Picasso. For the longest time, I even didn't want to say that I was an artist, but the more that I played with color, the more that I shared what I was doing, the more I enjoyed how everything kind of worked together, the more people would look at what it was that I was creating and they would say, my God, you're an artist. And I don't know, when you've never been an artist before and then you suddenly start creating things that would be classified as art, it is a strange world. It really is a strange world because you don't quite know what it is that you're doing or how you even began or why you're doing it or how a lot of craziness on a page could even be considered to be art. Nevertheless, I'm reconciled to say, yeah, it's looking like art these days. It it it's messy. It's unorganized for sure. Um, there's a lot of things that go on with my creation process that have a great amount of things to do, I guess, with the sensory experience of the art. It has to feel right to me. It has to flow right. It it has to come together in a way that there's sort of a relationship between the lines and the dots and, all of the different kinds of tools that I'm working with. Yeah, it has to feel right. And that's kind of a funny thing because as organized as I can try to be, and I can try to be very organized when it comes to all of my tools, I guess, that I'm using, you know, I like to organize colors and to look at them and to think about them. But then when they get on the page, no, it's not that at all. I'm not thinking about them, other than I'm thinking about, okay, how that color might intersect with another color. It's helping me to find a degree of focus, but only as it evolves. Um, there's many things in life that one can be distracted by. My art is not one of them. When I am in a place of creativity, um, as hard as things are in life in a million different ways, my creation process, the color and the energy that comes from that creation process, working with the colors, just, I don't know, there's a magic to it that reminds me that as hard as life is, and life can be hard, we know this, things can happen that make us feel like we can't find what we're looking for. We can feel really lost. We can feel confused, even hurt a lot of the times. Um, Somehow, in the midst of all of those feelings, for me at least, art brings about energy. It brings about a peace of mind, a comfort in my brain. It's true to say that when I create art, my brain simply feels better. Um, it it's almost as though I'm breathing, and I don't know, all of that working with the colors, being nice with the colors, being nice to one another, all of that has evolved into this style of art that, I don't know, it's just this collection. It's like a montage of a lot of different things that I like to do, and all of that makes life feel better. It helps me in so many other ways because it gives me the ability to fuel other aspects of my life that are harder. And let's face it, life is chaotic and it's hard. So if you have something that you can do that helps you to feel more energetic, that helps you to feel a connection, that brings about a satisfaction, and that's an outlet for you. It might not be art for you. It might be running, it might be cooking, it might be reading, it might be traveling. There's so many different things that it could be. But if you can figure out what that is and, put your heart and soul into it, it can really carry you through dark moments. There's no question about it. And all of that means that somehow, some way, no matter what is in front of you, you're just able to move forward. Move forward in a way that kind of opens your mind, that allows you to see that in life there is a relationship between everything, and how we interact, how we connect, how those relationships come together. And in this case for me, how these colors come together and intersect on the page, how they choose to work together and play together, even live together. All of that to me is, it is the magic, and it is the fuel that we need in life to go on. So yeah, this is my art, and I'm Jane Boyd, and I create art. I guess you could say I'm an artist. I could even say that I'm a bit undistracted by accident. Yeah, this is my art. And I think it's pretty cool. And I'm glad that you were here to kind of check it out and enjoy it too.